Because I don't have it.
Ernie, I have no idea. You know, you can be smarter than me if you want to. You can be a Rhodes Scholar, but you know what I will do to you. Doesn't necessarily mean you make good decisions on the basketball.
Maybe Kenny has an
That's
answer.
why
I think most people, when they first hear about it, they're talking about seeing the floor, having the ability to operate in the flow of the game and understand the time and score relationship. That's what a basketball IQ is. Like not taking a three-point shot with 24 seconds on the shot clock when you're up 9.
Not fouling a jump shoot.
Yeah, that's basketball IQ.
Okay, thank you. Kevin Harlan has a very high basketball IQ. Shaq has it too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like it.
I went to BYB, Bust Your Butt University.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the heart of the
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my colleagues Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Last outing for the Clippers, it was a loss to Sacramento.
How about the shooting percentage, though? In the low 30s. That tells you all you need to know.
Brutal, absolutely brutal to shoot that poorly. You almost have to try to miss to shoot that poorly. Rarely do you see numbers like that at the NBA level.
So the Clippers win the tip. All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the floor for Dallas, Parsons and Dirk are in at the forward spots. Matthews out there with Williams. And it's Pachulia in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Dirk Nowitzki, what can you say? Future Hall of Famer. Too many accolades to list. But most important, NBA champion and Greg Finals MVP in 2011.
Yeah, and Kevin, history has proven time and time again, you really need a future Hall of Famer on your team to win a championship. Just look at all the teams that have won the title through the years.
Here's Williams. Clippers able to drain the three. Parsons passes to Pachulia. Dallas moving the ball around, and that one's good. Williams has got his second bucket of the night.
Really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Griffin sets the screen for Redick. Off the pick. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Redick's got 5 points so far.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play. How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
The Clippers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Back to Paul. The dish to Green. The feed to Redick. Griffin a screen on Matthews. Just 5 to shoot. They kick it out to Green. Cannot hit. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. They come into this having outplayed Phoenix the last game.
And believe it or not, it wasn't the stars that led the charge for them in that win. It was about the role players. I mean, the guys who they don't usually count on for the lion's share of their points came through.
Guys, simply a complete team performance, and road wins where everybody contributes really can galvanize a team and bring it together.
Here's Green. Darren Williams picking up that last basket. Jordan with it. Now guarded by Parsons. Jordan the screen. The drive by Green. That's good.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
Boy, it does your heart good to see that kind of determination in a player. Really excellent focus that time.
The Clippers shooting their first foul shot of the night. And guys, Jeff Green, by every measure of athleticism and skill, should have become one of the game's better small forwards, but inconsistency has plagued him throughout his career.
And Kevin, I always go back to something my college coach told me. The mental to the physical is 4-to-1 in this game. And so through those 7 full seasons, he's teased everyone with that talent. And then it does suddenly disappear. And there's no other way to describe it other than the fact that it is mental. He hasn't been able to sustain it in terms of the consistency, and that's why he hasn't fulfilled his potential.
You know, with Jeff Green, the one thing you can say about him is he's been durable, especially since he had the unforeseen heart issue in 2011 for which he needed season-ending surgery. Since then, over the past 3 full seasons, he's played in 81, 82, and 78 games.
Paul, no one around him. Can't capitalize on the good pick. The Mavericks have gone 5 of 7 today so far. Nice shooting to get this game underway. From 12 feet out, and Nowitzki gets it to go down on the assist from Williams.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here. What a sweet assist by CP3.
And talking about Jeff Green, I'm rooting for him. I mean, I'm rooting for him to finally put it all together, to gain and maintain the confidence, and really to fulfill the vast potential we all know that he has.
Here's Williams, and Jordan sends it back. Hands with the ball out of bounds. Jordan touched it last. And the Clippers making a change here. Crawford's checked in. Here's Parsons, and he sinks the shot coming off the strong pick. Parsons got his first basket.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
Griffin a screen on Felton. Crawford, no one around him. A three-pointer off the mark.
Good little 2-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Back to Nowitzki. Kicks it out to Parsons. Offline with his 3. Clippers trail by 4. Pushing it up. Here's Crawford. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Crawford's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Here's Nowitzki. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. Nowitzki's got his second bucket of the game to go.
It goes down, but with no defender near him, no need to go to the fadeaway.
Paul outside. Pass to Jordan. They kick it out to Green. Fires from deep. And Chris Paul gets the 3.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
Down low. A nice shot by Barea.
Boy, that was a pretty feed from Raymond Felton.
There's 38 seconds left in the first quarter. Paul outside. To the middle. It's tipped and stolen by Nowitzki. And now Barea running the floor all by himself. Parsons' shot is off.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Paul goes in. And the pass to Griffin. Takes it from 10. Again, Los Angeles.
It's almost as if both teams are in a zone.
Well, offensively at least, partner. I mean, neither team's done jack diddly on D.
Paul. Can't hit. You talk to Chris Paul, and it's clear he was born to play the point guard position.
Fortunately, I've always been vertically challenged, so I've never had to play power forward or center on anybody's team. I've been passing and getting into the lane, dishing the ball off to a teammate, helping people score my entire career.
Vertically challenged. That's classic coming from Chris Paul. But, you know, seriously, Greg, he's taken that challenge and made the most of what he's got. A terrific play.
Really, and you know what? He's actually turned that challenge on his head when he goes right at much bigger players and uses their size against them.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Mavericks?
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Redick and Crawford, the sharpshooters outside. Pierce is out there with Cole Aldridge, and it's Rivers in at the point guard. That's who's out there for the Clippers. And both free throws good for Williams.
And you know, one thing about Darren Williams, he used to get to the charity stripe at will. At the height of his career, he was averaging almost 6 free throws a game. The last couple seasons, he's been down around 3.
The Mavericks shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. Inside, stolen by Rivers. It's Crawford with the drive. Lays it up and banks it in. Crawford's got his second basket of the night. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Clippers.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And the other thing they've done well is they've run the shooters off their sweet spots. They've really closed out well and forced them to put the basketball on the floor.
Here's Rivers. Darren Williams picking up that last basket. Pierce wide open. He fires. Hits the front of the rim and out. And here's the fast break. Williams can't get it to go. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Here's Aldridge.
Well, let's take a look at last year's Dallas Mavericks and where they ranked in the NBA. Second in points off turnovers, third in scoring. And they also showed up in the top 5 in fewest turnovers. When you squeeze the orange and take care of the basketball like they do, you put yourself in position to win.
And go back to points off those turnovers. I mean, teams really get caught unprepared to deal with that blitzing style, that trapping, diving in the passing lanes, and then running it down your throat in transition.
Pachulia, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Matthews comes in for Williams. Harris kicks to Anderson. Dallas moving it around. To the paint, here's Pachulia. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Pierce with the screen on Harris. Rivers kicks to Redick. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper. Redick's got the lead up to 2 now for Los Angeles. Offense is what drives the Clippers, and they were fantastic at it last season. Easily one of the most exciting teams to watch with their high-flying and high-scoring act and number 1 in terms of efficiency.
Yeah, and it's not just a flash for the Clippers on offense. You talked about their efficiency on the offensive end. Led the league in points scored per 100 possessions at 109.8. Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Now here's Matthews. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Suns in Phoenix.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Matthews against Redick. A nice shot by Rivers.
And you know, the Clippers were near the top of the league in most other offensive efficiency categories as well. Second in the league in field goal percentage, second in points per game at almost 107 per. That was a high-octane offensive group.
Here's Harris after Austin Rivers score. Matthews dishes to Pachulia. Clock at 6. Shoots. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Matthews. And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here.
And it's been well documented. The Clippers had problems with free throw shooting. I mean, mostly due to their bigs. They actually had 3 perimeter players who shot over 90% on the season. But you can forgive their free throw struggles as a team given how great they were everywhere else.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Aldridge. Griffin comes in for Paul Pierce. Green, he's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And Chris Paul subbed in for J.J. Redick. Here's Nowitzki. Now Rivers. Outside Griffin. Jordan with a screen on Parsons. Kept alive. They kick it out to Green. Jordan the screen. Green the pass to Jordan. And at last they get one to fall. Jordan's got his first points in this one. Mavericks trailed by 4. Nowitzki for 3. That doesn't go either for Nowitzki.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that.
Austin Rivers traded to the Clippers last year. A change of scenery did him well, and he was comfortable coming off the bench.
And that's a great point, Kevin. I mean, he seemed to get steady playing time, and that's what he needed most. And also, he wasn't defined by a position. They were able to find a niche role for him to play in. Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Well, he'd have to be really good to knock down a shot like that against that kind of defense. You rarely see him missing dunk, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really... thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Now here's Griffin. Hits the layup after the sweet pump fake to freeze the D. Griffin's got 6 points.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautiful.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Nowitzki for 3. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
Out to the right wing. Here's Griffin. No good with the wing jumper.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
And we're through.
Kevin, I'm here with Rick Carlisle. And, Coach, how...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. Their field goal percentage was a robust 50% in the period. That's something they can hang their hat on. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and inserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
And looking at Dallas, Shaq, your thoughts?
They haven't gotten to the line enough, and I think that's an area they can improve. They need to be more aggressive. Right now they're hanging in there, but this could change in the second half. They need to challenge defenders and try to control the momentum and get to the foul line a little bit more.
And that'll do it for now as we send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Without question, Deron Williams displaying his skills today.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
On the floor for Dallas, Parsons and Dirk are in at the forward spots. Deron Williams out there with Matthews. And it's Pachulia in at the center position. This game has a lot of character here in the third period.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I love seeing this type of action, a competitive, compelling matchup. A lot of lead changes here so far.
Yeah, 6 already. Intensity is the theme for this one.
Here's Green after Dirk Nowitzki's bucket. Pachulia with the steal. Parsons for 3, and he gets the bucket. Now it's a 4-point Maverick lead.
Talk about doing a Rip Van Winkle on defense. Come on, guys, wake up. Why are they leaving him open at the three-point line? Come on.
The drive by Green, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It goes on Chandler Parsons.
And we've seen Dallas just be fantastic since the start of the new millennium. Year in and year out, they seem to always win 50 games. Hit that mark again last season.
Both free throws good from Green. Well, last season they won 50, Greg, as you just said. That marked Clark the 12th time. It happened since 2000.
Well, clearly this franchise has been committed to winning. I mean, you hear that from a lot of franchises, but they often aren't willing to take the risk that the Mavericks take. The Mavs do a good job of putting their money where their mouth is.
Now here's Parsons. 5 points in the game. Another 3 for Dallas.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Williams against Paul. And Redick kicks to Griffin. Paul outside. Shot clock at 6. Jordan with a screen on Williams. That's a 2 from Paul. Buries the jump shot. Paul's got 6.
Check out these handles. That's rush hour handle. Not midday, not early morning. That's rush hour handle. That nasty spin just froze the defender.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
And Jordan has it in the corner. It's Redick on the wing. Jordan the screen, off the pick. And the rebound goes to Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got his 5th rebound in this one. Williams can't get it to go. Clippers trail by 3. Inside. And Green slams it in.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
The Clippers have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. One thing that can be said for Dirk is that he has been incredible in terms of an ambassador for the game. We know he's a Hall of Fame player, but what he's done off the floor and just everything for the European player coming into this league has been groundbreaking.
And Kevin, for me, he was an inspiration. I mean, he really opened the doors for a lot of European players to come over, and not just come over, but to be impactful. As you mentioned, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that really has set the stage for this infusion of making our game truly global.
Anderson and Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
To the middle, shoots from the right block, and there's the play by Anderson inside. Anderson's got the lead up to 5 now for the Mavs. Williams against Paul. Passes to Crawford. Outside Pierce. And again, it's the Clippers missing. Dallas leading by 5. And it's Harris off the drive. Shot's good.
That was the 3rd straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical. Be more aggressive.
The game's just far too easy right now when it comes to attacking the basket. They have got to do better. And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Lets it go with the 3. Harris missing again.
You can't get into much better position for the three than that. Everything was right on target. It just didn't fall. Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
And you see the way Blake Griffin plays. He is a force. Very hard to contain him when he gets in close just due to his strength and activity.
Austin Rivers, he's checked in for Paul. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Dallas. Barea comes in for Williams. To the right side. It's tipped. Powell kicks to Felton. Here's Mesri. The shot is off. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. For Griffin and his ability to create contact close, he's been called a bull in a china shop, something that I think Clarkie embraces.
Yeah, I think he'd rather be the bull than the china in that situation because of his strength and physicality. And I think that's the right mentality to have as a power forward.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Powell. And Chandler Parsons in for Anderson. Clippers trail by 3. Crawford right side. Uncovered. Here's Aldridge. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Yeah, and that's important because this game may ultimately come down to which team controls the paint in crunch time. I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
There's a good screen. Pierce inside the three-point line. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here's Rivers. Dirk Nowitzki unable to get his shot to go. Pierce's shot is good. Barea with it. Parsons dishes to Felton. Back to Parsons. From 18 feet away. And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist from Parsons. 14 points for Nowitzki. The Clippers have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. And Felton with a clear path to the hoop. Griffin with some nice D.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
There's Crawford with the 3. The shot will not go. Felton. No luck. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. The Clippers trail. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. And it's Green in at the 3 slot. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Now here's Griffin, the 11-footer. Jump shot is good that time. 9 points for Jeff Green.
Boy, just a lovely dish by Griffin.
Maverick shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. Now here's Williams. Six on the shot clock, and Matthews kicks to Pachulia. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
He hits the second from the line.
You know, you look at Dallas, and that team didn't rely too much on the mid-range or the short game last season, but they could have. They shot 70% from 12 feet and in, excluding drives. That's pretty good.
Now here's Paul. Griffin sets the screen for Green. To take the lead. They get it back. It's Redick on the wing. And that misses. That would have put him up. The Mavericks leading. And the Mavericks making a change here. Nowitzki's checked in.
Substitution for the Mavericks.
Parsons for 3. It's hauled in by the Clippers.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
And the wide open shot from Green. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got 5 assists in the game. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. And there's the defensive 3-second call. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Clippers.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, but also they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Pachulia. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession.
Clippers ball. Timeout for the Clippers.
Los Angeles calls timeout. Yes, fans, Clark, and the one team they view as floppers is the Clippers. I don't like that word, but it just kind of came out. Whether that is fair or not is up for debate, but it is certainly, I think, the perception.
And I think there's some truth to that perception. I mean, multiple players have received fines for flopping on their roster. I mean, you can't run away from that, and the fans remember it, too.
Oh, they do, yes, sir. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
During that break, Coach Rivers had some words for his team. He told them the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
Thanks, Doris. Here's Paul. After the made shot from Chandler Parsons, Paul passes to Griffin. Here's Jordan. Parsons with the rebound. Dallas has gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And Matthews gets it to go.
And for the Clippers and flopping, part of it might just be reputation. Whenever anyone hits the deck on their team, fans might be quick to kind of condemn that as a flop.
Now here's Griffin. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
You know, the Clippers were the darlings of the NBA as they improved and made strides, but I think the flopping has kind of diminished that now, that love affair. Being labeled a group of floppers can certainly stifle your popularity.
Now here's Williams. Feeds to Nowitzki. It's deflected. Griffin with the steal. Matthews with the steal. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
You know, that turnover right there isn't typical of the performance he's turned in today. In fact, that's his only turnover of the game. He's done a really good job taking care of the ball.
And stolen by Darren Williams. And Matthews with the basket on the assist by Williams. And that's 15 points for Wesley Matthews. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Mavericks.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Now here's Griffin. 4 on the shot clock. And the dunk by Jordan.
Put a little extra on that one, didn't he? Nice play by the fella.
Greg, I thought for a moment the defender was going to cut him down, but it didn't happen.
Wow.
You know, he didn't want to risk the and one. There was no way he was going to be denied on that stuff. Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas. Yeah, I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift, I think he's got to try to take advantage of that.
Anderson, he's checked in for Chandler Parsons. It's tipped. Griffin loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Griffin's got 4 points now in the quarter.
That's a brain freeze right there from the entire defense. Now is not the time to lose your focus.
Nowitzki, no good.
And you really thought that was going to be a gimme, but unable to convert.
Yeah, and a little self-talk, angry self-talk for himself after that miss.
Fast break, Dallas. Anderson with the ball. Here's Williams. That's all good, and that's his 5th basket of the game. He's shooting 5 for 11 now.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
We've got 1:28 left in the 4th quarter.
Griffin created the space for that shot.
And so it's Dallas with a 2-point game. It's Williams with the drive. Matthews. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And what a tremendous game for Matthews. 15 points. He was able to come up with 1 steal, too.
You know what? He's been a difference maker defensively today, Clark. He's disrupted more plays than the stat sheet will show. And that was huge right there. Just as cool as he could be. And he's been clutch at the line there in a very tense moment.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
That's good. And that's 17 points for Nowitzki.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
Jordan the screen. Paul kicks to Griffin. A floater. Redick against Matthews. Jordan with the screen on Matthews. 5 on the clock. Money!
As clutch a shot as I have ever seen.
In a word, gutsy.
Here are the Mavericks now. Guys, they're not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. I mean, now's the time to use the clock to your advantage. Take your time. Milk the clock a little bit.
Now, here's Nowitzki. Here's Pachulia. Money!
Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound. And once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
Paul against Williams. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Redick. Yes! And he has brought them to within 2 points. And they go to the intentional foul.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure, it's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Los Angeles calls timeout. They're losing by 3. 20 seconds left to play here in the 4th. Guys, your thoughts?
And you know what? You got a couple options here. You can take the 3 to tie it or get the quick 2 and then a foul.
And, you know, if it opens up for them inside, the quick 2 would be the way I would lean, Greg, but the foul has to come immediately after that.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul. He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
And you can wrap this one up. Great job to stay cool at the line and finish it off.
Out to the right wing. So we see the Mavericks get the win here. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, I'm here with Dirk Nowitzki. And Dirk, what was the key to the team's success inside tonight?
Well, I think our points of pain come more in transition. We got to push the ball. That's where we are best. We're not really a slow, grinded out kind of team. But if we do have to, and it's a slow game, then we got to find a way to penetrate some, make the defense collapse, and finish around the basket some. I was able to get in there some, so that was big for us, play inside out.
Dirk, great job. Thank you so much. Kevin, you don't necessarily always need a post to score inside.
Doris, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. And now the award-winning Ernie Johnson will take it from here. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Dirk Nowitzki.
He had a very nice night from the field tonight, shooting over 50%. That smooth, soft touch was working for him tonight. No matter how tight the D played him, he was still shooting it right in their face.
And this guy's been doing this his whole career. Man, we're talking about a Hall of Famer here, an icon in the city he brought a championship to. Not forget, one of the greatest shooters in NBA history.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.